JYP? Yes, I love JYP. What are you talking about? JYP, I respect the hell out of that man. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So being the human that I am, I turn to God whenever I need him, right? Only when I need him. And then I was hit with this epiphany that I would only pray and really seek and ask for his guidance when I was stuck in a hole and needed his help. Yeah. Yeah. But like, and then that's when I started feeling bad, and I was like, wait, I had this epiphany. Damn, I'm so selfish. I only go to God when I need him, right? And then from that point on, I started praying before meals, before I go to sleep. And sometimes it does become repetitive and it just becomes a habit. And like I try to keep myself conscious of those times and try to get revamped in the spirit, you know what I mean? Yeah. 널 믿는 사람들도 이렇게 많아. 쟤는 꼭 안아주고 오빠. 알아요. 정말 저를 이렇게 믿어주고 저에게 힘을 주시는 분들한테 정말 감사하고 정말 해드릴 수 있는 거 다 해드리고 싶어요. 네. 정말 감사합니다. 진심으로. Yeah. Do I study the Bible? I don't. I really should. I've been watching a lot of sermons though. Stephen Furtick has been keeping me on like a whole new spectrum. He's been teaching me a lot of stuff. But yeah. What were you even talking about? Yeah, I felt it. I grew up being... Okay, so when you grow up, like in a home that's like Christian, you kind of just get in the habit of going to church, right? And then like you kind of just like go to church, hang out with your friends. You occasionally like just ditch class or like ditch service like once or twice, and you're like, oh, I'm such a badass. And you jump over the fence and then you go to 7-Eleven or whatever, and you come back in time and you tell your parents that you went to service. Like that's childhood, right? And then you start growing up and you start really listening to a sermon. And then you cry for the first time hearing a sermon because it affects you and God wanted to talk to you in that room. And then real life starts happening. And then problems hit you. And then you start asking God for direction whenever problems hit you. And then you do it over and over and over until you get hit with a wall that tells you, you only come to me when you need me. It sucks. It sucks how selfish we are as human beings. That we forget that our Creator, that the one who loves us without any conditions, is someone that we only go to when we need something. You don't do that with your friends. Right? And this doesn't have to only be like religious. This could be non-religious as well. We do this with our friends sometimes. Sometimes the friends that we take for granted, and we don't even realize that. They've been there so long and we're just so used to having those friends there that we forget to treat them like human beings sometimes. That we forget to treat them like with their friends. And that also applies to parents. Kids, I'm telling you guys, like right now, you're gonna think your parents like, oh no, they're telling me I need to go to sleep. They're telling me I can't go to parties when I'm like 12. Like, listen, I get it. You want to grow up. You want to have fun. You want to leave the house. You want to be independent. I'm sure this doesn't go for everybody. But for most situations, Your parents are always going to be looking out for your best interest. And that's just how it is. And that's just how it's always going to be. Your parents, at the end of the day, at the absolute end of the day, you come into this world with one thing, and that's family. Don't take your parents for granted. I'm guilty of this as well. I'm extremely guilty of this as well. But I've really been trying, man. Don't take your parents for granted. Just because they've been there your whole life doesn't mean that they're going to always be there. And once you lose your opportunity to be able to express yourself to them, you're going to regret it for the rest of your life. True, your parents are your number one fans. True. I feel like my parents trusted me when I was in high school, and they never really bothered me when I go out. Okay, see, you were an A+ student, okay? You were the smart one. You're a smart one. The sad truth is not all parents have their kids' best interest in mind. They can project their own belief onto their kids. I agree, you can't take your parents for granted. I also agree with that. Every situation is different. And that was actually something that we were going to, from Friends, the campaign was going to focus on for Christmas. And hopefully we can narrow it down or funnel our energy into a smaller ratio subject, because we can't just be like, we're going to fix the world and fix the world. We have to tackle one thing at a time. But yeah, don't take your parents for granted. Honestly. That's a big thumbs up. Yeah. You know what's crazy? Even like 5 years ago, like every birthday, my mom would be like, you should give me a gift. And I was like, what? But now I get it. Now that I'm 28, right? I turned 20 yesterday. I get it. Do you, like, really think about it? Think about how many things you've done wrong in your life. Think about how many situations where your parents had to hold in their